By the end of Chapter 4 in Red Dead Redemption 2, the Vandalin gang have familiarised themselves with the complex workings of the corrupt industrial city of Saint-Denis, and like so set their sights on their big heist, that of the Lemoyne National Bank. A big city branch like that is sure to have plentiful money, enough perhaps to disappear. However, things don't go according to plan. While deep in the robbery, the gang find themselves utterly surrounded by the Pinkerton National Detective Agency, resulting in the brutal demise of one of the group's most influential members. A massive, bloody gunfight ensues that forces the unscrupulous gentleman to go on the run, fleeing to the rooftops and hiding in an abandoned building, sneaking out at night and stowing away aboard a ship. And though Dutch easily smooths over the untrustworthy men's presence, little do the gang know they're far from home free to Tahiti.
Well, it's gonna take a little more gold, but I think we're gonna be okay. This captain, he is a fine fella, a New Englander from the Cape. The rest of the ship is Frenchmen. They're heading down to the islands, taking some Pennsylvania coal. Now, apparently, we're gonna be able to slip ashore in northern Cuba in a couple of days.
That's so.
Apparently.
But of course, as is the gang's ill fortune, the vessel destined for the Caribbean meets a rather unpleasant storm.
I ain't no sailor, but, that cloud look like good news to you?
Everybody, wake up! Wake up! Come on, Arthur! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I don't know, but we are getting off of this boat! You come on! Would you get a move on, you sleepy bastard?
Please, you go on ahead, I'll be right behind you.
Dance! I'm okay. You?
Yeah.
This ain't moving.
Yeah, you go on ahead. Try and find another way.
Oh, God damn it!
Following the shipwreck, when Arthur Morgan comes to, he finds himself alone, exposed, relatively soggy and quite severely sunburnt, not to mention arguably probably quite unwell, without the first clue where on God's green earth he is. His only hope is to get up and start moving, find his friends. At this stage he has no inkling that he's just drifted to the shore of a tyrannical regime. For this gorgeous tropical paradise is Guarma, the stomping grounds of a cruel, monstrous tyrant, who just so happens to be the topic of today's video. I am, of course, talking about Alberto Fussar. In a rare stroke of luck, it doesn't take Arthur long to track down Dutch, Javier, Bill and Micah when he sights the smoke of a campfire not far from his location.
Boys.
You're alive. Arthur?
Oh, boy, that's it.
You're alive.
Arthur, you
Arthur,
okay?
it is a miracle. It is a goddamn miracle. Here, have something to drink. Have a drink. Somebody give him a goddamn drink. Oh, son. Son, take it easy. We got you. We got you.
So, where the hell are we?
We are on the island of Guarma. Javier asked the local. It's a old sugar plantation island. Second island east of Cuba.
Is it anywhere near Australia or Tahiti?
It's on the way, I guess.
So, what next?
I don't know. Well, next I guess we're gonna get shot.
Encadenen a estos hombres.
Gentlemen, this is quite a welcome.
Who are you?
Senor, por favor, we are no one.
What's your name?
Aiden O'Malley.
Is that so? What are you doing, Mr. O'Malley?
Surviving. We were lost at sea, in the storm.
Is that so?
No, I'm in the habit of looking like this. Is all of this really necessary?
We got enough troubles around here right now, Mr. O'Malley, without taking a chance on a bunch of vagabonds. Behave yourselves and no harm will befall you. Vamos!
Well, the locals seem to be quite the hospitable bunch. We've been here a whole 5 minutes and we're already slapped in chains and forced to walk.
That means move! You've got a long walk ahead of you.
Curiously, the man in charge, at least on site here, appears to be American.
I don't get your drift, Mr.
Levi Simon, senior overseer for Alberto Fussar. We run the third most productive sugar plantation in the Northern Caribbean. Of course, where there's money to be made, there's trouble.
What sort of trouble?
Oh, the usual sort. People wanting what ain't theirs and others telling them to take it.
I don't get you.
Labor troubles. And other thieves and pirates looking to disrupt our ways of working.
How very upsetting for you.
Not half as upsetting as it'll be for them. Mr. Fussar has a lot of very powerful friends.
I will bet that he does.
Bunch of Haitian pirates won't frighten him. They'll be strung up in the streets soon enough.
And do we seem like Haitian pirates to you, Mr. Simon?
You seem like someone or other.
We was headed to Tahiti.
You was going the scenic route. Just as soon as I know exactly who you are, you'll be free. Meantime, you'll not starve.
Fortunately, the subtitles have some Spanish for this next bit. Levi Simon addresses his men with instructions far more brutal than he made it out to us. Nonetheless, the notion that he'll only release us upon finding out exactly who we are does not bode well, considering we're wanted outlaws, especially not with bounties to collect.
Welcome to Guarma, gentlemen. Now, if you'll excuse me. Yeah!
What now, Aiden?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we've got to get out of here.
Yeah, but they can't find out who we are.
Well, for now, we're stuck then.
This first interaction with Levi Simon did, however, reveal that he's beholden to a figure named Fussar.
Well, for what it's worth, I think I would have preferred Tahiti.
You and me both.
As we're forced to walk by the soldiers, admittedly we do get to take in the beauty of the island. However, it becomes clear that we aren't their only prisoners, and the average local may not be quite so chuffed with their lot in life after all.
Who are these people?
Who knows?
Well, they got them chained and lashed, but they don't look too dangerous. Excuse me, sir. Who are our new friends here?
Criminales.
What crime did they commit?
Insurrección.
Insurrection? That's quite a word.
Cállate, señor Fuentes. Muévanse. Todos.
Our new friends are supposedly criminals, insurrectionists. Now, if everything here was hunky-dory, why would they be doing that? And considering this is how those who step out of line are treated, how are they treated when they keep in line? Fortunately, we won't have to worry about that for too long, as La Revolution rocks up.
think they're shooting at us. Hold them off with Arthur! Everyone okay?
Yeah.
Damn. Reinforcements.
Mon Dieu. We need to get out of here.
Now we're in trouble.
Come on, fais vite, everyone, follow me. Vite, fais vite. Come.
Javier!
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. There's a lot of them.
What do you think?
We gotta move, Dutch.
Don't lose face, son! We'll find you!
Cooey, go. Come on, Arthur. Quickly, I have some guns stashed here. Come.
Organised attacks, stashes of weapons. If I didn't know any better, I'd say we've stumbled in on a civil war here. Only the Vanderlyn gang can be this consistently unfortunate. However, with the aid of our new friends, we managed to drive Fussar's men away.
What you doing here?
I have no idea. Running from somebody or something, I guess.
How went we all? Hercule Fontaine.
Dutch Vanderlyn. These drowned rats are Micah, Bill, and Arthur.
Okay. Well, Fussar will be desperate to find you. We must be very careful.
So, who is this Fussar?
A tyrant, driven by nothing but power and greed. Our only purpose is to work ourselves to death to make him rich.
Leon wants the people to stand up to Fussar, but most are too afraid.
And you?
I am not from here. I bring things in and off the islands behind Colonel Fussar's back. Let's rest a moment. Down there is Agua Dulce, Fussar's compound. The sugarcane these poor men kill themselves farming gets processed in that factory there.
They're little more than slaves shipped in from other islands. A group escaped yesterday into the jungle, hoping to find a way back to their homes.
Now Fussar's men are out hunting them down. That old fort? Cinco Torres. My men and I use that as a hideout when we are here. Come on. I know somewhere you men can rest.
Can we trust you?
I don't see you have any choice. I am the only one who can arrange a boat for you. But I need something in return. Help Leon with that group of escape workers, and then come meet me at the fort.
If you help us get back our friend and get out of here, we will do everything we can.
Thank you.
Gracias.
If your friend is still alive, they will have him at Fussar's compound. There is a cave hidden below the cliffs. It will lead you right there.
Thank you.
The workers are somewhere in the jungle. Hopefully we can get to them before Fussar does.
Of course.
Gentlemen,
Well,
goodbye.
if this is a tropical paradise, so far it ain't up to much.
I'll go scope the entrance to that cave. Arthur,
I need to get some rest.
well, you're right. We all need to relax.
From this interaction, we learn that Fussar's got quite the operation going on the island. It's clear he's not the most morally concerned man, and those who work his plantations are little more than slaves, whom he sees fit to work to death should it increase his own wealth. Thanks to our prior interaction with Levi Simon as well, we learn that he's got powerful allies, and as we sneak into his compound in a bid to rescue Javier, Arthur and Dutch realise this isn't the first time they've been in the proximity of this Fussar.
You know, wasn't Fussar one of the fellers Bronte pointed out to us at the party in Saint Denis?
Yeah, you're right. I knew I'd heard that name before.
Oh, and that one too. That is Alberto Fussar. He owns a sugar plantation out on the island, and he comes here to whore and despoil himself.
So Fussar has what we're led to believe are strong connections with the city of Saint Denis that we've just fled from, which doesn't bode well for us remaining undetected while on Guarma. And if his uniform, graced with plentiful medals, is to be believed, he's quite the accomplished military officer of some description or another, which might explain how he's got such an extensive militia on Guarma. Now, this brief appearance isn't the only time we get to learn about Fussar before our time stranded on Guarma, as we can actually read a couple of newspaper articles that either mention or allude to him. For instance, the notion that he has powerful allies can raise eyebrows when you read an article about Leviticus Cornwall's expansion into the Caribbean. We learn that Cornwall has sugar business that reaches into the Caribbean, and not a week goes by without a ship ferrying Cornwall sugar calling into America. So perhaps Fussar's presence in Saint Denis is not all pleasure. After all, many of Saint Denis' buildings, trains, trolleys are dominated by the Cornwall name. This is a highly concentrated region of Leviticus Cornwall's own power. The presence of a sugar baron is sure to not be a coincidence. And the two are clearly morally like-minded, as the plantations run by Cornwall also have reports of questionable accounts of poor conditions. This unholy alliance is further elaborated in the article Guarma Island Sugar Boom, that reads as follows. Rail baron and industrial titan Leviticus Cornwall stood next to a ship unloading Cuban sugar from the island of Guarma and hailed a new era of cooperation between the two countries. After making 2 trips to the region to tour sugar plantations and signing an exclusive purchase order with the governor of Guarma, imports are on the rise. Cornwall has called local governor Alberto Fussar a great friend of America. However, the boom is undercutting the US sugar industry, resulting in the loss of American jobs. Detractors call Fussar a controversial figure who is flamboyant at times and cruel at others, and has Guarma under a quasi-military rule. His security force is reportedly feared across the island, with plantation workers often working 14-hour shifts to keep up. At this point, we can certainly attest to the quasi-military rule. As for rumours of his cruelty, we're about to bear witness to that too.
You. I come from Mexico. I never met those men.
Does anyone believe him? Mr. Simon doesn't believe you. Even the mule doesn't believe you. Eso ni fue para tanto. Sí que deja de actuar. Sabemos que no estuvo tan fuerte.
Fue bastante duro.
No, la próxima vez será aún más duro.
Bueno, ha sido un placer.
Siempre me encantaron los mexicanos.
Enough of this.
Fussar has a mule drag Javier by his wounded leg, inflicting unnecessary pain upon the man and seemingly enjoying it. His right-hand man, Levi Simon, appears to share his twisted disposition, and his men seem to take pleasure in the agony too. Considering they're treating Javier this way despite not knowing who the hell he is, at least not right now, you can likely imagine how Fussar must treat his plantation workers.
On my count, you take the one on the right. I'll take the left. So much for the count to 3.
While in the compound, should we take things slowly and keep an ear out, we can hear Fussar droning on about something or other.
Over here. Let's head around the back of the building and see if we can find a way through.
Y así es como los trataremos aquí. No sé nada. Hay que tener mano dura. Necesitamos orden. La cobardía y la debilidad no ayudan a nadie. Los cobardes, ellos que son los peores traidores. No buscan ser desleales, pero son igualmente traidores. Estos últimos días han sido muy difíciles para todos nosotros, pero ha llegado la hora de mostrar nuestra fortaleza. No toleraremos nada de estos marginales ni de estos bandidos. Les prometo que solo castigaré la cobardía. Sean firmes, violentos. Recuperen esta tierra de las fuerzas malignas que la acechan. Ayuden a estos desgraciados. sé que darán lo mejor de sí mismos. Sé que será más que suficiente.
And following this twisted speech, he more or less departs. As for Fussar's compound here, I doubt he slapped these cages out when he realised Javier was coming, and being imprisoned exposed to the elements in a tropical environment such as this is sure to not be pleasant. So in how he deals with Javier we see Fussar's cruelty, and then around him we see telltale signs that this is far from the first time he's exercised it. All that remains to do here is to of course cause a distraction, rescue Javier, and slip away into the forest. Now, since Guarma is a small space that we spend at most an hour in and then never really return to, there's not a right lot of open world stuff here to interact with. However, if you go exploring you may find yourself falling into a bit of a trap out in the rainforest. The wood indicate that Fussar's men are used to dealing with attempts to escape, and on top of this you may encounter plantation workers / revolutionaries attempting to escape. This would suggest that outside at least of his militia, people aren't working for Fussar because they choose to, but because they're being forced to. And if you recall this previous bit of dialogue,
the sugarcane these poor men kill themselves farming gets processed in that factory there.
They're little more than slaves shipped in from other islands. A group escaped yesterday into the jungle, hoping to find a way back to their home.
He effectively imports slaves from other islands, and it's in this that I find Alberto Fussar's connection to Saint Denis a little bit eyebrow-raising. For in Saint Denis, in the prior chapter, we can encounter a lovely fellow named Brother Dawkins, whom after a friendly chinwag with Arthur Morgan asks for our help with something.
How you getting on, anyhow?
These are a somewhat apathetic lot, I'm afraid.
My mentor says that America is designed to induce apathy in people.
It's a wonderful insight. He must be a wise man, your mentor.
Well, sometimes he's a downright fool, but, well, usually he's the best man I know.
That's wonderful. The thing is, well, poverty will always be with us. But slavery, I thought we had banished that. But Saint Denis is acting as a staging post for shipping slaves out to some of the islands.
I don't believe you. It's 1899.
Maybe you should take a look for yourself. I've heard that the pawnbroker down the block around the corner, the one with the green door, well, they say he sells more than forlorn trinkets. Help the poor.
Brother Dawkins informs us that Saint Denis might be being used as a staging post for sending slaves illegally out to the islands. And sure enough, in the fence's shop we can find a hidden passage behind a bookshelf. Upon forcing our way in and heading down the staircase, it would seem Dawkins' concerns ring true.
Por favor, ayúdanos. Help, please.
Now don't worry. I'm on your side. Please, I'm on your side. It's gonna be okay.
Two prisoners whom I'm led to believe don't speak much English were being kept down here. If Dawkins was right about that, he was likely also right about why, meaning these poor kids were to be shipped out to the islands, presumably, meaning the Caribbean, to be exploited as slaves. Now there's nothing to indicate that Fussar is in any way involved with this incident in particular, but we do know he employs effective enslavement on Guarma and has more than a few connections to Saint Denis. So perhaps there's yet another purpose to his visits. There is of course nothing concrete there, but the coincidence is hard to ignore.
Brother
Dawkins' friend.
Arthur Morgan. Come on. You were right. I found these two imprisoned in that shop.
Oh my. Well, they are blessed to have met you, Arthur.
Trust me in that they're very unusual. I don't think they speak much English.
My brothers, come. Let's go get something to eat. Manger. Comida, please.
Hey, you forgot this?
Oh. Yes. Thank you. Here. Payment. For your services. I could not have freed these men myself.
Give it to the poor, brother.
Thank you. I will. Like I said, magnificent. Come on. Come.
With that in mind, we must now turn our focus to the escaped workers in the jungle. However, such a feat is easier said than done when Arthur Morgan finds himself captured. As you can imagine, it's quite difficult to get a word in when the interrogator is practically hitting you before he's even finished asking his questions, which I think goes to show he's more interested in taking pleasure out of the act of inflicting punishment than he is actually getting any information out of us.
Huh? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from, I'm asking you? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Huh? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Come on! I'm an American. My name is Leviticus Cornwall.
As he turns his focus to the other prisoners, we get an opportunity to try and find a way to escape.
You okay?
I don't know.
Maybe there's still time to get to the other workers.
Oh yeah, I think I hear voices coming from the other ruins down there. Let's sneak down and take a look.
Which way?
I'll show you. Baptiste, you don't look good. You should rest here.
Okay, you'll need this. Go!
Come, follow me.
Now, before I forget, it would seem that the escaped workers have indeed been captured by Fussar's men, and now, with the aid of Leon, we must sneak past the militia and save them from what is at best further cruelty and at worst, death.
Oye, ¿qué pasa? Te voy a decir una cosa. Mi abuelo siempre dijo que la Guarma era la isla de la que Dios se había olvidado. Y después de estar aquí un mes, entiendo a lo que se refería.
No hay nada aquí. Hay que regresar. Tan solo 3 meses más y a casa.
Por favor.
Ángel. Nunca hubo alguien con un nombre menos apropiado.
Diablo quedaría mejor.
Oh, pendejo.
Está enfermo. Seguro está disfrutando mientras tortura a esos bastardos.
Se le pone tieso el tetito.
Fue creado por
2 more ahead. Take cover on the other side of this door.
¿Ratas? Criado por el mismo diablo.
As we move through the ruins, we hear plenty of the soldiers' conversations. It's clear some are more on board with Fussar's brutality than others, and we also learn that they intend to hang the escaped workers, a fate we rescue them from in a nick of time.
Get them down from there! Damn! They're coming from behind us!
That looks like the last of them. Vengan, hermanos. Estarán bien. Este gringo valiente le salvó la vida.
Thank you, my friend. I'm Baptiste. I work with Hercule. We owe you our lives.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. This place makes me miss home.
Take care, my friend.
Hercule is getting a boat lined up to get you and your men out of here. Just meet him at Cinco Torres.
We'll be there.
Good. Here, this is for you.
Thanks.
It's not much, but it's the least we can do. Good luck getting home.
With the workers rescued, all that remains to do is to head to Cinco Torres to meet up with the rest of the Vandalin gang and Hercule, and finally be free of this bastard island. But of course, where Alberto Fussar is concerned, why would things ever be so simple?
We did what you asked.
It's like I said. Fussar knows who you are and knows the price on your head. It's a big problem.
I see.
But if we can silence him, Then I can help you escape before anyone has time to get here from America. That way, we all get what we want.
We want to get the boat you promised us.
And you will. But you have found yourself in the middle of a war, my friend. Fussar has called in the Navy from Cuba. There's no way a boat could leave right now.
Hercule! Hercule, s'il vous plaît! Vite! Vite!
Come. Follow me.
Sure enough, Fussar has called in the Navy from Cuba as a full-on warship now blocks our escape. And now we really have no choice but to fight the guy. We first focus on taking out the infantryman, a task made relatively straightforward with such a great vantage point and a sniper rifle. However, the ship will require a much bigger gun. Fortunately, there happens to be one in working order complete with ammunition laying around in this abandoned fortress. But before we get the opportunity to see the ship off, we need to take out more of Fussar's foot soldiers, and indeed prevent more of them in boats from making land. Once that's done and dusted, the ship really stands no chance against a player character paired with a really big gun.
There we go!
Yes! They're going down! Let's get down from here. Come on.
That was quite some shooting, boys.
Thank you.
What now?
Oh, they'll be back. But I found a boat for you. And he should be arriving on the dock any time now.
Great. Micah, go meet with the captain. If he's amenable and discreet, tell him we'll be ready to set sail soon. Bill, come help me collect poor old Javier.
Sure.
Hercule, it was a great pleasure to make your acquaintance.
If only things were so simple.
Boys, we got a real problem. Nice Mr. Fussar don't want us going nowhere. He knows just who we are. If he can keep us here for a few more days, well...
And what about the captain of the ship here?
They got him trussed up like a hog. Guards all over the place. Got us surrounded with gun positions, so when we try to sail out, he's gonna blow holes in us.
This fella is really beginning to try my patience.
He ain't even had you tortured yet.
I like the man's style. He's thorough, nasty, and vindictive. However, in this instance, I don't see we got any alternative, but we go and free our friendly captain and destroy the artillery.
For once, I agree with you.
Hercule?
Oh, I'll fight Alberto Fussar every day I can.
All right. Bill, you're gonna guard Javier on the ship here. Micah, Arthur, let's get to work. Hercule, we follow you.
Anale, this way.
Where some might call him tenacious, I call him foolish. It's clear that Fussar wants us to keep fighting him. Why? I have no idea. Maybe he wants to die. Considering his iron-fisted governance of this isle, perhaps he believes himself untouchable. Or maybe he's finally complacent enough to underestimate us. Either way, after a short gun battle on a plantation, we come back face to face with Levi Simon and Alberto Fussar.
Oh, I got you now, you bastard.
We are all bastards, my friend. But only one of us is some would-be emperor's whore.
We know who you are.
And nobody knows who you are. Not even your goddamn father.
You maggots are going to die.
Eventually, I'm sure we will. But not today, and not because of you.
The U.S. Navy is on the way.
I am sure they are. Which is why you're going to let us leave. Or you are dying right here, my friend.
We've killed better men than you fools.
Enough? Oh, I've had enough of this. Arthur, the rifle?
Sure. Are you men gonna give up? Let us leave? Are you gonna die?
Put your guns down.
Here! You saved my life. Thank you, Captain.
I suppose you men are my cargo. Dutch Vanderlyn, I am sorry you got hurt.
Captain Sam.
Let's go. Gentlemen.
With Levi Simon now in the dirt, should anyone actually care to bury him, it's time to turn our attention fully to Fussar and end his tenure here in Guarma.
Fussar is up there, I think.
In the tower?
Yes. Yes, that's him.
This goddamn idiot. Come on!
He's shooting. We have to take him down. Out there. There's another cannon up ahead on our left. Can you get to that?
I'll try.
Now, I'm no expert, but I doubt he'll survive that. So with the Cuban Navy sent packing, Fussar and Levi Simon deceased, the gang are now free to return to the United States, but more importantly, Guarma is at least free of its governor's tyranny. At least until another governor rocks up, I suppose. The news will report on his death with the following article. Leader of Guarma assassinated. Alberto Fussar dead. Beloved leader cut down. Great sorrow and scenes of rage in Guarma. The horrifying assassination of the governor of the island of Guarma has caused the most intense of excitement on many of the islands in the Spanish West Indies. Reports conflict as to the details of his demise, though early assumptions are that it was part of an attempted coup. Business leaders in the United States speak warmly of Mr. Fussar as a kind and effective leader who brought peace and prosperity to the region, supported workers' rights, and took a particular interest in a lot of the women on the island. American businesses have done a great deal of trade with him in sugar and saw him as a progressive leader and humanitarian. It was initially believed that the murder was led by a revolt of the plantation workers who processed the sugar. However, reports have begun to reach the mainland that several white men were involved in the assassination, and some are blaming a band of socialist insurrectionists who are believed to have been causing discontent across the region. These were dismissed by some locals who say tensions have grown in recent years as working conditions deteriorated, as American importers insisted on lower prices for sugar. It would seem even in wake of his passing, his tyranny is suppressed in the news. After all, his ability to keep sugar prices low was quite convenient. However, we know the truth that living under Fussar was not an ideal place to be. That being said, if this article is even being remotely truthful at any point, we do kind of learn why he is the tyrant he is. I don't doubt his brutal, malicious cruelty didn't spawn overnight, but his harsh, often inhumane treatment of his workers stemmed from a desire to instill the civilization he sees in America. Sure, he takes liberties where it suits him, but the monster he was didn't exist without purpose. Even if, as put by Leon Fuentes, he was driven by nothing but power and greed, he did at the very least have motivations for doing what he did. Unfortunately, Fussar and his lackey Levi Simon turn out to be some of Red Dead Redemption 2's lesser fleshed out antagonists, and therefore all we really know about Fussar is that he is a bit of an arrogant and prideful character. His pursuit of vanity is what made him a tyrant, and his pride ultimately led to his demise. It matters not how he's remembered, with his death, he cannot hurt anybody else again. But does that mean that Guarma's future is now full of sunshine and rainbows? I mean, perhaps literally it is after all a tropical island. But what I mean, of course, is does Guarma have a more figuratively bright future? This final article we can read in the epilogue might yield the answers. Unrest in the tropic, cost of food, fuel, angers citizens, sugar barons to blame. Island residents from Barbados to Cuba are experiencing soaring prices and short supply of food and fuel. They are blaming local politicians and sugar barons for the situation. Shortly after the political unrest in the area, including the assassination of a prominent sugar industry advocate and Guarman governor Alberto Fussar in 1899, American banking institutions, including J.D. McKnight & Company, took control of the sugar industry on several islands, including Barbados, the Virgin Islands, and Guarma. Fields which once flourished with locally grown foods and were used to feed the island nation suddenly switched to growing sugarcane. As a result of a single crop economy, all foodstuffs are imported, to great expense for local peoples. Foreign investors hire locals to guard and police their massive plantations, subjecting workers to harsh conditions and penalties. Local groups argue that island residents are suffering the most, while businesses say heavy investments by American financial institutions have allowed for the revitalization of the local economies. We learn, of course, that sugar barons in the broad region are still very much so a thing, but islands like that of Guarma have massive economic problems, and the residents are forced to live with the depressing consequences of that. We also learn that just because Fussar went doesn't mean the plantations on Guarma stopped. They were simply commandeered by American businessmen, and since we know Leviticus Cornwall as something of a hyperbole for how Americans do business, I have a hard time believing that conditions for workers on Guarma miraculously improved, and so we may indeed have cut the head off the snake. But now we're left with the big question: did we really make a difference, or did another head just grow in its place? And with that, today's video reaches its conclusion. Like I said, Alberto Fussar isn't the most fleshed out antagonist Red Dead Redemption 2 has to offer. However, I saw a comment on my Leviticus Cornwall video suggesting that I do a video on Fussar, and I wanted to do it. But look, if you made it this far into the video, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, all that wonderful stuff. It would be massively appreciated, but of course, only do those things if you want to. And maybe if you're feeling generous, maybe pop me a follow on some social media. Not that I'd necessarily begrudge you for not engaging with those hellscapes. Nonetheless, with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, but until next time, please, take care, and goodbye.